what it is.
Well, the guy who made me say that for the most part is Tacko Fall, and I didn't actually think we were going to have a Tacko Fall segment tonight. I thought
I'm glad we are.
He looked good. He looked like he fits, belongs, and can contribute in the NBA. And part of that's been his progression, his development.
Saying Tacko Fall
how
fits.
quickly are we going to do this?
John, I'm not sending him to the All-Star game. I'm not saying he should start.
No.
I'm saying that he can play well in an NBA game.
Can we say that they got away with playing Tacko tonight and he did?
No, that first half stretch, plus 15 in his first bench rotation, and a lot of that was him.
He played. He did not look totally out of place.
No, he didn't.
But I would be shocked if they could get this many productive minutes out of him ever again.
That's a stretch. That's a stretch.
I mean, 19 minutes.
John, don't forget the stat you're not looking at that Bobby probably already knows and can recite is shots like altered, right? What's that whole, he didn't put a hand on the ball, but he altered the shot and like affected the shot. So like his length just being out there has a pretty positive effect on defense.
Look at that.
There you go.
Analytic Jimmy.
I'm getting a hang of some of these stats.
That was really well said, Jimmy.
Gravitational pull. What's the gravitational pull stat that we use for Rob? We can use that for
That's when he's running the rim. He's drawing
vertical gravity.
Yeah, the vertical gravity. Roll gravity.
Gravitational pull tonight was something to be seen.
He's got the pull.
Per 36, though.
For sure.
I mean, again.
Keep it in check, of course, but you can't take
4 points, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks. Had that awesome stretch with the block and then running the floor. Had a good offensive rebound, a putback dunk as well. He kept the ball active on the boards a couple of times when he didn't come up with the rebound, but other people did. His presence is there. Russell Westbrook on the block by Westbrook. Westbrook was like, "I'm going for it," and it was like, "Nope." That was great. Russell Westbrook is friggin' awful, by the way.
You're screwing my guy out of 3 rebounds. He had 8 rebounds tonight.
Oh no!
8 rebounds tonight. Yeah. How dare you?
I might have just looked at the defensive rebounding stats. That's my bad.
This matchup too.
I did. I just looked at defense. 8 rebounds. I shortchanged him.
You did. You shortchanged my guy, Tacko. I mean, he needs those stats to get that burn in the next game. So
yeah,
we're
you're
gonna
right.
give him 8. We're gonna give him 9. We're gonna give him actually 9 on the show. So
you want me to give him 4 more?
Yeah, I think you should give him
bonus
4 more.
Rebounds.
Somebody might see that stat and say, "Yeah, he had 9 rebounds." Well, helping our guy out a little bit. So 9 rebounds for Tacko in 19 minutes. Listen, it is what it is. I mean, no one's crowning him the next defensive, player of the year. He's not the next Embiid, but he goes out there. All credit to him, man. This guy, by all accounts, works hard. He's a great locker room guy. Good attitude, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy to see him get the.
Boom! I gave him his 3 rebounds, Jimmy.
All right, I would have given him 4, but we'll take the 3.
No, we're keeping it real.
Did you have your score sheet out there in the game, Jim?
I was checking him off as you go. Absolutely. Plus 17. He was at plus 17 at one point. I mean, you don't just – and I know plus –
You want me to add that to the graphic too, Jimmy?
I know plus minus is overrated, but listen, he's affecting positive performance out there, so I'll give the credit where it's due. I'm not saying he's going to start at center for the rest of the year, but this is what we talk about when we say that the Celtics need – guys coming off the bench contributing. Maybe it's not at the center position, but you'll certainly take it on a night where 3 of their guys are out. And here's the other thing. This whole thing with contact tracing, I know I'll get into it. The same players could miss another week. 3 weeks from now, the same thing could happen. So you need this is the year where you need as much depth as you can get. So if Tacko wants to contribute, by all means.
This team blows my mind though. Like, the more guys they lose, the better they are. I don't understand it.
Well, it was the opponent tonight.
Like
this opponent was dreadful.
No, I get it, but just the whole season, it's just they're down. I mean, you're down Kemba, and we'll get to Kemba in a little bit because that's a positive development coming there. But you're down all these guys, and it's fine. I'm just baffled by this team. And again, the opponents matter and who you catch and when. But, if not for that real crap last 4 minutes against Detroit, you're looking at an 8-2 team here that's dealing with a COVID situation here, had Tristan Thompson start the year slow. Kemba Walker's not playing at all, and they lost Gordon Hayward. with no benefit of training camp, and they're fine. I'm just
because they have two all-stars that are like first team All NBA right now.
Right, and that's what we talked about prior to the year. Like,
this is my point,
right.
And this
guys
goes
get
back
to that level. That's the ball game. That's the only way you get into title contender land. These guys
banking
get there.
on them.
You got to fill around them with slightly better players. I'm a little dubious here. Again, you got a week's worth of games here where you got to live with this because you're going to have no Grant, no Tristan, at least 7 days. No Grant, no Tristan. And no Rob. So you're going with, and again, it's a miracle. We're so worried, like Tice, with his foul troubles is the only viable big. The only reason I'm kind of surprised they started Semi is because we were talking about it on the thread prior. I thought he was going to be your small ball 5. So I thought he might get some second unit minutes running a smaller lineup, or if Tatum went out in his regular rotation and he left. But they changed their rotations tonight. Instead of Tatum going out at the 6-minute mark, he played the entire first quarter. Jalen went out. Then Jalen carried the offense for a good portion of that second quarter while Tatum got his blow there. I thought Tatum might play as kind of like Tatum and Semi would have been the small ball bigs with a second unit in that second quarter maybe. But we'll see how it goes against Miami. It's going to be tough. I mean, are you putting Tacko Fall out there against Bam?
I was just going to say, is Bam? If you're a DraftKings player, I mean, Bam must cost $12,000 on Sunday.
Bam is worth every penny in the next game.
I mean, my goodness, I don't know how you're gonna. I mean, honestly, we're gonna go on the air after that game, and if the Celtics lose by 20, I mean, we're not gonna harp on that game. It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean,
because this was not an easy win to pull off, even though it's the Wizards with this personnel. I mean, this is a really depleted team,
right?
So
I mean, you got everyone in the same position gone. I mean, it's not easy to plug that in.
And
so
it's
credit
exactly that.
to Celtics.
Well, we're helped tight. I don't think Washington has any tall guys. Bryant's one of those 6'9", 6'10" type centers for them. Bertans is big, but he's not a defender. He's not an interior player. So Tacko had free reign in there, and that's why he was able to ball those balls around a lot. I was just impressed by the way he was able to assert his size tonight on both ends of the court, and only scored a couple buckets, but he was just so in control and able to stay with the flow of the game. He was running end to end.
There were a couple. He played the pick and roll well a couple of times too, and that's obviously going to be a massive concern with someone like him. He just doesn't with his footwork and just can he get back? I am really worried what's going to happen. I can't imagine he's going to be on the floor for once. His minutes will be when Adebayo sits. There's no way he's going to be on the floor for a second when he's out there on Sunday.
Yeah, and that was pretty much what happened tonight.
Yeah,
it'll be the Rob Williams treatment,
I'll say this, though.
It's going to be heavy Tice unless Tice picks up 4 fouls in the first 2 minutes. So.
Yeah.
I said coming into tonight in this week, of course, that this was it for Tacko. If you're not going to show you're an NBA player now, you never will. And they've been doing this thing with him when they play him for a couple of years where they back him up in the zone, kind of. Yeah. He plays the zone. Everyone else rotates man around him. And that's kind of where the NBA is going. We're seeing a lot more zone. Yeah. We're seeing a lot more pack in the paint. And especially in that fourth quarter when he played with the bench there in those minutes where they just survived, there was an impact to the Wizards not being able to get into the post area and produce offense out of there. Westbrook especially. I mean, if he's just sitting on the perimeter, he got blocked early in the game by Tacko. What's he doing? And that took him out of the game to some degree too. So beyond what he did individually, he helped the team defense tonight, especially late in the game. And I'm not saying that's going to bring him in once the whole front court's back, but if you're in a situation where all of a sudden you want to play that kind of defense, he lets you play it. And it's not about him versus Bam or him versus Bryant, because all of a sudden it's a more of a team zone defensive unit type of defense.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Well,
Tacko
go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah, he just needs to do what he does, which is be a presence down low, block shots. You remember that? A player, a shooter will go in the gym and take 500 3-pointers. He needs to just stand in the paint and just block 500 shots. Remember that in the arcades, that game, you hold the hammer and you just whack-a-mole. He literally just be whack-a-ball. That's if he's
he
not
also
doing
needs
that,
to just basically stand against a wall and just bounce the ball and then catch it, because you got to work on those hands a little bit.
Yeah, that too. Well, you know what?
Jimmy and John should be running Celtics practice.
Do that with a
just
tennis-
bing, 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 bing. Just quick passes. Just get him so he can catch it. You know,
Would you guys have Romeo?
because that's the problem there. If you're gonna drive and kick, that's the fear. Because he's there, all you can do to him is throw lobs. You can't entry passes there because he's just gonna get stripped, or he's not gonna be able to catch it or hold on to it there.
Yeah.
So you really all you can do with him is throw it up.
Similar
Right,
problem for Rob too. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a lot
Rob's
harder.
hands are better.
Tacko Fall is catching essentially a tennis ball. Like when we catch a tennis ball, that's like how it feels. It's like not
Yeah.
that easy. It's
Right.
easy for us, not that easy for him. So.
You
Yeah.
see the pregame high five run? Kemba's coming across and does the dunk level run to get for the high five.
Yeah.
lots of
Swallowed
contact
up.
and togetherness for a COVID outbreak going on seemingly around the team.